I'm currently on my way to Epcot. I only have one goal in mind today, and it doesn't even have to do with Epcot. So the Boardwalk Bakery just opened recently, and apparently they have a whole new menu. I don't know if they renovated inside, but I'm gonna take a look. My family has stayed at the Boardwalk for the past couple years, so I've become very familiar with the Boardwalk Bakery. My favorite thing that they had this year was a veggie sandwich, and it had like portobello mushrooms and roasted red peppers and hummus. It was delicious. So I'm excited to take a look at that. I'll probably get some lunch there. We are in full swing of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. And I love the Halloween parties. I can't wait for it to get a little cooler outside because our costumes are pretty extravagant and hot. So I'm excited to have some cooler weather so that I'm not dripping. Everybody comments that they're so sorry about their sweaty wrists, but what they don't realize is that I'm adding to the sweat. It's gross all around. But we also wear these bats on our head, and it has rained every single Halloween party. Every single one, it's been just like a downpour. So last night, my bat was on top of my head, and because my bat is so tall, I can't put the rain jacket over the bat, and so I just let my head get wet. But what I didn't realize was that my bat, Peppermint Batty, was gonna take a beating. So she was full face down on my head last night. I didn't even realize that she was flopping. These bats are hard to come by, the ones that stand up tall, because all of them have been ruined by the rain. But I sat her down on my dashboard and she's straight again. So I fixed her. Peppermint Batty lives again. Everybody names their bat. A lot of the guests ask what our bats' names are. And so I asked one of them, I was like, what's the favorite name that you've heard so far? And he said, Baby Got Bat. Somebody's bat's name is Baby Got Bat. That's a good one. And we're in. What? When you're walking through Epcot nowadays, you have just lots and lots of fences. And if you take the Epcot monorail, you can actually see how big the construction is. It's huge. It's gonna be a giant area. A fact about me is that when my family would come to Epcot, we would never not eat at the land at Sunshine Seasons. We would never eat in the World Showcase. We would always come straight here, and you know why? They have creme brulee. And living with the land is always a must. Always usually a 5 to 10 minute wait. Lovely boat ride, can't go wrong. If Animal Kingdom is the king of stage shows, Epcot is the king of boat rides. You got Living with the Land, you got Frozen, you got the Grand Fiesta Tour. So much fun. Doing this new thing with the Guardians boarding groups where you can wake up at 7 from anywhere and book a boarding group, or they have another stack of boarding groups that they give out at 1 p.m. if you're in the park, and it is currently 12:55, so I'm going to try to get it at 1. We'll see what happens. Did it. That was easy. 350 minutes. Okay. They're currently on 69 to 78, and it's actually closed right now. But I'm group 144. I never knew this, but apparently Soarin has a single rider line. When did they start that? I'm not gonna do Soarin right now, but that's good to know for the future. I always thought that it was just Test Track in Epcot with single rider, but Soarin? Who knew? I love Pooh, don't get me wrong. But I find him frolicking in the fields so creepy. I don't know what it is, because he's one of my favorites. But like, look at him. You could put horror music over this and it would automatically be a scary movie trailer. making my way to World Showcase because I am getting a little hungry now, and I have to make my way all the way to the International Gateway. They actually have a boat that goes straight to the boardwalk, which is great for me. I know a lot of people say that the Canadian cheddar bacon soup from Canada is so good, but I just could not imagine putting soup in my body right now. Here we have the Boardwalk Deli instead of the Boardwalk Bakery. The proprietor is still Hughie Croissant. I was hoping that they didn't get rid of that. But all of these signs are new. You're never bored at the Boardwalk Deli. Oh, haha, funny. Deli fountain, resort mug refills. So this is where you will buy your resort mugs and then can refill them. You deserve our desserts. Enter here. Here's a look at their display case where they have some muffins, banana bread, you have a Mickey brownie, an almond croissant which looks phenomenal. You have some crumb cakes, a black and white cookie, a blueberry scone, another muffin, chocolate chip, a sugar cookie which me and my sister actually had, a cinnamon roll, and then here you have their new sandwich selection. You have an Italian sub, a chicken sub, a Reuben sandwich, a veggie muffalata, and then their salads, just some fruit, deli pickle, and their new display case showing off meats like there would be at a deli. Some more pastries, key lime pie, you have some cupcakes, and a brownie cheesecake that looks phenomenal. So I came into the lobby because it's much cooler in here and they don't have any seating at the Boardwalk Bakery. So if you're gonna eat, it's gonna be outside. And so I ended up getting the Italian sandwich with no mayonnaise and the cinnamon yummy, which looked really good. So they changed the outside, not much about the inside. They did get rid of my favorite veggie sandwich and replaced it with a veggie crunch muffalata. And I would have gotten that, but the problem with the muffalata is that it had an olive tapenade on it, and I'm not a fan of tapenade. And without the tapenade, I think it would have been a sad, sad sandwich. So I got the Italian hoagie. And they changed the last time, they would give out like bags of chips, but now they have house-made chips, which I'm very happy about. Here is my Italian hoagie. It's a big boy, and my house-made chips, and that came to $11.49. My cinnamon yummy was $4.49. Please have your attention, please. This is the Reed Creek Fire Department. We're testing the fire alarm system. Please disregard all alarms. Okay. And I also got a fountain drink that was $3.99, but it has 3 refills. And on vacation this year, I actually got into making a drink concoction, half Powerade, half lemonade. It's so good. That was a very enjoyable lunch. The sandwich, delicious. There wasn't that much meat on it, which I prefer, but I know that not everybody prefers, but I thought it was great. The chips were well seasoned. It kind of had like a salt and vinegar vibe going on. It was like the sweet vinegar powder, you know. It was really good. And then the cinnamon yummy, it was like a mixture between a cinnamon bun and a sticky bun, but it kind of had like a croissant dough going on. Oh, it was so good. It was moist, it was crunchy, lovely lunch. And I think overall, my favorite change from the Boardwalk Bakery to the Boardwalk Deli is those house-made chips. If you're paying $11 for a sandwich, it makes it much better to get house-made chips rather than a bag of Doritos or a bag of Lay's. So those house-made chips just made your experience much better, and I'm glad that they made that change. I'm sad that my veggie sandwich is gone, but what can you do? I have a little Disney World hack for all of you who get stopped every time you go through security, because I'm one of those people. And I asked someone one time, I was like, what is it in my bag that's going off? My sunglass case and my umbrella always ding when I go through, so I'm always stopped, and then it slows me down. And I hate to be slowed down. Just kidding, it's okay, but it's just like, it's a nuisance. And so what they told me to do is hold my sunglasses and my umbrella out in front of me when I go through the scanner. And so when it dings, they can see that the thing that dinged is right in front of me, And so they just let me go. It's the best hack ever.
And I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say it's alright. It's alright, it's alright. Life is a highway, I'll ride all night long.
They were awesome. The only thing that makes me miss performing is watching other people perform and they look like they're having the time of their lives. Like, you can tell just the fact that you have these older people who chose to perform for their livelihood and they're doing it. It's amazing. I love watching that. I'm going into Figment because of air conditioning, but I wish that I could ride, like, if I could, not if I could do anything, but I wish that I could ride the old versions of Figment, because the first one, you had the Dreamfinder and Figment. I never got to ride that one. I was too young. And then they got rid of the Dreamfinder, got rid of Figment, and they made it Journey into Your Imagination. Everybody hated that one. So then they brought back Figment, and now it's Journey into Your Imagination with Figment. So I wish that I could ride the past ones, see the differences, but Figment's good enough for now.
Left ear?
The funny thing about that ride is that out of all 4 ride vehicles, there was one child. all the rest of the people were adults. And when we got to the part where it goes, imagination is a blast, you just hear screams. It was funny. But I tried to show it. One of the doors says Dean Finder, and it's supposed to be a nod to the Dreamfinder. And another thing is that I grew up coming to Disney World, and so I knew Figment since the time I was born. And my brain never put together like Figment of Your Imagination versus Figment the dragon or the dinosaur or whatever he is, because in my little brain he was just Figment. But I never put together that it's a clever play on words, Figment of Your Imagination. I found that out like last year. Fish are friends, fish are friends, fish are friends, not food. It surprises me every single time how dark this queue is. I feel like I always run into things, but I think it might just be the adjustment from outside to inside, and it's also just unnecessarily dark in here. My friend Jordan changed this from just swell to choppy, and nobody changed it back. I've had 2 walk-ons in a row. Woohoo!
Mr. Ray, we can't explore without Nemo.
I'm sure we'll see him any minute now.
Nemo!
Oh, science is great, there's so much to know. Like aboard explorers, it's time to go.
Nemo's swimming out the sea!
Oh, don't worry, just keep your eyes open for him along the way.
Nemo! Now,
Oh, let's go explore, explore, explore.
swimming around the sea.
Crazy water explorers.
I don't know how school under the sea works, but I think Nemo going missing was Mr. Ray's fault. His classmate goes and tells Mr. Ray, hey, Nemo's missing. You know what he says? We'll find him later. Huh? And then after he's returned, he says, oh, good. Mr. Ray, Mr. Ray. I'm gonna go check out Soarin's single rider now. It only has a 20-minute wait, so it can't be that long. Gonna see what goes on. Never done it before. I've done Soarin', just not single rider. So I found out that the single rider line is just the lightning lane entrance. They just let the single riders in the line. They lied. This is also a walk-on.
Hello, Soarin. My name is Patrick and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. This includes cameras, purses, hats, and of course, these ladies. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh, we're high. We're very high. Iceberg right ahead. Oh, hi, folks. Oh, hello. Hello.
screaming is that when you exit outside of Soarin, like there's the exit there, they have like plane seats, and they even have outlets. I wasn't expecting for Soarin to make me so sad today, but we flew into the Sydney Harbor, and I saw the Sydney Opera House, and I saw the exact bench that I sat on when I knew that I had to leave Australia, and it was just the most beautiful view in the world, and I'm gonna cry. That was like one of the best times of my whole life, and it got cut short, and it just makes me sad seeing that again. It's like, you can't even explain it. My feelings while I was sitting on that bench, I was so happy, so happy. I'm about to head to Spaceship Earth, but yesterday I went to Maple Street Biscuit Company. Great food. But in order to call a name for the order, they ask you a question. So the cashier asked me, she said, if you could share a biscuit with any celebrity, who would you share it with? And I said, John Stamos. And she didn't know who that was. How do you not know John Stamos? But then the girl calling out my name, John Stamos, knew who I was. It is about to storm bad. The wind is howling. There's really no line when you get inside, so the whole line for Spaceship Earth is outside. You can see how many people are waiting. I love the smell of this part. It smells so good. I had to do that for a school project one time. I loved it. We put it on top of our desk, or like underneath, and laid on the ground and drew on top. It was so much fun. This ride is putting me to sleep. I'm so sleepy now. I have about an hour left before my Guardians boarding group. Test track it is. Single rider, let's go. Whoa.
That's that car that's
Oh no!
That's what we smell too, the burnt rubber. It just stopped like right.
The e-stops on this one do not feel nice.
No, they do not.
Oh, they turned the lights on.
Oh wow.
Somebody's probably coming to get us. Because we made it out the gate, we had to have like an engineer come and help us with the in-show exit. So we had to wait there until an engineer showed up, and then the engineer shows up, and we end up walking on the track that's outside, and we go down all these stairs, and we exit through the backstage area, and they gave us a free water in Disney World. Who knew? And my Guardians boarding group was called while I was stuck on test track. So I'm heading there now. And I forgot, they also gave me a lightning lane. So I might go use that on Frozen. I haven't been on Frozen since 2018. I liked it better when it was Maelstrom, but what can you do? And I forgot to mention, the e-stops on test track do not feel good. And so we were going like 20 miles per hour and we went to 0. But the people who were in front of me were already going 60, and they went from 60 to 0. You could see the burning rubber and smell it.
Your world and ours were born of the same moment, one which you refer to as the Big Bang.
That one is so much fun, but I can see how it can be very disorienting. That time I got one way or another, and it was amazing. And I was also a little confused with Guardians, because in one of the pre-shows, Terry Crews says there's no videoing allowed. So I was like, okay. But before I went in, I actually asked a cast member if videoing was allowed, and they said yes. So a little bit of conflicting opinions there, but I didn't film. I followed Terry Crews. The first time I came to Norway after they redid it from Maelstrom to Frozen, I walked right by Norway, not even knowing that it was Norway, because I was looking for the old facade of Maelstrom where the boat comes out the window. I didn't see it, so I kept walking. We went all the way to Japan before I realized that we passed it.
Come on, I know you do. Elsa's made a magic winter show with summer snow for spending me and you. Skating, celebrate, you're here. We get to share this frozen fun.
Confused as to how that used to be angry trolls, oil rigs, lightning storms, and they said this would be better as Frozen. We want the troll. I'm gonna do the Grand Fiesta tour right now because why not? This almost turned into the Epcot All Rides Challenge. The only one that I haven't done is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, which I don't like, and Mission Space, which I don't like. So this was Skylar's Epcot adventure. I didn't film any of the Grand Fiesta tour because I actually was filming a TikTok. If you didn't know, I have TikTok. It's also Miss American Sky. Follow me. Also, please subscribe. I have never said that before, but if someone doesn't tell me to subscribe, I won't do it either. So please do. After thinking about it, I think my main reason why I don't tell people to subscribe is because I genuinely enjoy making videos. Like, I did it before I started posting to YouTube. I'll do it after I stop posting to YouTube. So it's like, it's something that I would do anyway. Just remember, you change the world when you change your mind. Bye bye from Miss American Sky.